So, let me just check, is everything okay? Should be okay. Should be okay. Should be okay. So, why am I alive? So, I was going to welcome. I was going to do live story character quests at some point, but accidentally I started story itself. So here I go.
Are you lost?
This is the beginning.
No,
Chi-Chi is
I'm not.
here.
My name's Ayu, and I'm here because...
Why are you
Hey
here,
there,
man?
Chi-Chi. Hi, Gray. What's going on?
I don't know, Paimon. We are going to find out.
Hi, Traveler and Paimon.
At least you don't put me to sleep like Layla does.
You've actually come at the perfect time. This little boy seems to have gotten himself lost. I think he must be new to the city. Probably wandered away from his parents and...
No, listen to me. I'm not the one who's lost. It's my dad.
That's a twist.
Your dad? How does a fully grown man manage to get lost in Liyue Harbor?
That's my question.
Well, my dad's always been kind of forgetful. In the past, he was just a little slow to react sometimes. But I'm worried that it's getting more serious. So...
How serious?
Your mom?
Let me guess, she died.
She went out a few days ago to gather some herbs for my dad, but she still
She's
hasn't
alive.
come back. Meanwhile, my dad's been getting worse and worse. I remembered that the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy always runs a clinic in Chingsa Village during the Lantern Ride, so I thought, why don't I take Dad to
Baizhu.
Liyue Harbor to see him there? When we got to the city gate,
The
I
cursed
took a moment to
man.
ask the Millwith guards for directions to the pharmacy. And then, when I turned back around, my dad was gone.
When he got to the city gate, when we got to the city gate, I looked a moment to ask, really? You were asking directions?
I asked the Millwith guys to go find him, but he said they won't be able to send that many people. So then I figured, maybe I can ask some other people in the city to help.
You
That's
came
a
to the
great
right place.
idea.
We're pros at finding people. Isn't that right, Traveler?
We? Who's we, Paimon? I'm doing all the work. Yeah, piece of cake.
Can help. She has a good sense of smell, like a dog.
Why do you compare someone with a tool?
Hey, who's talking about me behind my back?
Oh, that's Snake. Well, you are on someone's back, so technically it's not behind your back.
Cheng, Chi-Chi meant that as a compliment. There's no need to be upset.
How to upset a snake? Tip 1.
Hello, child. You mentioned that you were looking for the owner of Boo Boo Pharmacy. How might we be of service?
You have a talking
Yeah,
snake?
Baizhu, help him.
Oh, are you Uncle Baizhu?
Uncle.
Baizhu.
Uncle.
Sheng, now's not the time.
I swear this snake reminds me of Nagini. Like,
My dear boy, could you tell me more about your father's condition? As much as you can recall.
Yes, Uncle. Dr. Baizhu.
he got used to calling him uncle.
I see. And your family lives near Qingse village, you say? I visit patients there frequently, but I don't recall ever seeing you or your parents.
Uh-huh. My mom doesn't like meeting other people, especially during Lantern Rite. She always tells me to just stay at home and keep my dad company.
So your mom doesn't like meeting other people? She tells you to be with your dad, but where is she?
Is that so? Ayu, by any chance, is your mother's name Jiangli?
Whoa, yeah, it is. Do you know my mom, Dr. Baizhu?
Everybody knows everybody by now.
I certainly do. Gui, Chi-Chi, are there any pressing matters in the pharmacy at the moment? Ayu's parents are old acquaintances of mine, so I would very much like to assist with the search. Would the two of you have time to join me?
Don't forget us two. We already told Ayu that we'd help.
Yeah, paimon, let's tag along like we always do.
Oh, really? Well, that's wonderful. We are most grateful for your support.
Chi-Chi and I need to clear up the shop front first, but once that's taken care of, we'll be right out to help you with the search.
I'm thinking all the work will be on my back.
Family is very important.
And Fast and Furious reference.
Thank you. Then I'll leave you to handle the pharmacy. Traveler, Paimon, why don't you come with me and Ayu? Let's start by talking to the Millilith guards at the city gates, see if they have an update.
So, city gates. Because I accidentally started this, might as well finish it. City gates. Maybe I get lucky and get Kazuha. Who knows? After all, you do get primogems from this stuff.
We searched to the north, but couldn't find anyone who matched the description.
Well, that complicates things. The city folks say there's no sign of him either. We need to start looking further afield. But where are we gonna get the people?
Excuse me, sirs. Have you found out anything about my dad yet?
Ah, hey there, buddy.
So
Dr.
the
Baizhu.
whole city
What
is
brings you
looking
up this
for
way?
his dad.
The boy asked for our help, so we're here to join the search. Any new developments to update us on?
Oh, thank goodness.
Please do
We
tell.
were just discussing how we're running out of manpower.
Manpower is the two of you. Hello.
As for updates, I'm sorry to say that we've searched the surrounding area thoroughly, but didn't find anything.
Yeah, like I believe you.
The guards at the crossing up ahead said they hadn't seen anyone either, so we don't believe he was heading towards the Guili Plains. But it is possible that he was bound for Luhua Pool.
Luhua Pool? The terrain there can be
So
tricky
we
to
are going
navigate. Let's hope
swimming.
he hasn't run into any trouble.
Let me bring my gear.
You will? Ah, great. We can't thank you enough.
Sorry we weren't able to find your dad, buddy.
I will, don't worry.
That's okay. Thank you for trying.
Let's use teleport because I don't want to walk long distances. Run, forest, running through the forest.
Dad! Dad, can you hear me?
Stop shouting. Search area near the pool. I'm guessing elemental sight.
Look, there's somebody over there. Oh no, it's... Hey, you! Stop! Don't go any further!
What? He's gonna fall or paimon? God damn it, he's gonna fall.
Watch where you're going!
Is he sleepwalking or... Why am I not surprised to see Hu Tao in this development?
Dear customer, Wangsheng Funeral Parlor does appreciate your patronage, but you needn't hasten the inevitable. Are you alright?
Obviously he's not.
Huh?
Dad!
Hey, Hu Tao!
Yeah, Paimon, I know it's her.
My, who do we have here? It's the Traveler in Paimon, and...
Why do I even try to put a user in this game? Like, I have a name, you know.
my worst nightmare.
Yeah, he heals people. You...
I see he still hasn't warmed to you.
And probably never will.
Thank you, Director Hu, for saving this man.
Dad, are you okay? Do you recognize me? It's me, Ayu.
Are you? Who am I?
Wait, he has amnesia.
Your name is Xiao Liang, and you live just west of Qingce Village. You were supposed to come to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. Remember? Does that jog your memory?
Oh, my name is Jia Liang.
Liyue Harbor. See the doctor? Yes, I'm Jia Liang, and I need to see the doctor. Wait, why do I need to see the doctor?
Uh-oh. He seems in really bad shape. We need to get him back to Boo Boo Pharmacy right away!
He's totally wrecked.
Sorry, Hutao. Gotta dash. Dinner's on us next time.
Gotta dash. Convenient. Because I have Shao.
Hold on a second. You're not seriously thinking of taking him to Boo Boo Pharmacy in this state, are you?
So what the hell am I supposed to do then?
Huh? Why not? What's the problem?
That's my question.
Come
Finally
on,
we
baizhu.
agree.
Don't tell me you haven't noticed it. Didn't your master teach you how to spot the signs?
Signs of what?
Why do I get the sense that you spotted them right away, but you're planning to use it for your own ends?
Can somebody fill me in?
Use what? What are you talking about? Paimon's lost.
It's not just you, Paimon.
There are traces of god remains in Jia Liang's system.
What the fuck? Traces of God.
Oh, yes, but more importantly, they're on the verge of an outburst. If that happens, the consequences will be unthinkable.
Did he touch Genosis or something?
Paimon, sorry. What?
Exactly. What?
God remains? There's no need to worry, Director Hu. I have methods of keeping them at bay. It is the sworn duty of all who practice medicine to cure illnesses and save lives. What reason would I have to neglect a patient in need who is right there in front of me?
Yeah, exactly.
Besides, it was my late master's dying wish to be able to save this patient in particular. Perhaps out of respect for him, you could give me a day's grace so that I have time to treat him?
Now you're bringing my great-uncle into this? Baizhu, just what are you planning this time?
Wait. This took a turn.
Merely to cure this man, nothing more. But of course, if you have any doubt as to my intentions, you are more than welcome to accompany me to Boo Boo Pharmacy and monitor my activities.
Oh, really? I thought I was persona non grata at Boo Boo Pharmacy. You're being unusually generous today.
Yeah, everybody forget about me.
Okay, deal. We're not going to solve anything by keeping Jia Liang here. I'm happy to do it your way, but only for my great-uncle's sake and the travelers, of course.
Yeah, it's because of me. Sure. Keep telling yourself that.
You must be pleased you brought the traveler along. Otherwise, this would have been a much more vexing ordeal.
Shut up, Nagini.
Well, time is of the essence. Let's get ourselves
I'm
back to
calling
Boo Boo
her
Pharmacy at
Nagini.
once. Blockages within the cardiovascular system, reduced blood flow and energy circulation? I see. I suppose this must have caused the cognitive abnormalities.
Dr. Baizhu, how bad is it? Can you cure him?
Probably.
Don't you worry. Baizhu's a really great doctor. He's sure to find a way. Isn't that right, Baizhu?
Ayu, do you know when
See,
your father first started
Paimon is
displaying these
positive
symptoms?
for once.
I'm not sure. He's been like this for as long as I can remember. But it wasn't as bad as this when I was still little.
So it's been a long time indeed.
It's constant.
No, I have a treatment plan in mind. We can start tonight.
So what are you gonna
Come
do?
and see me again tomorrow morning. I promise that by then, Ayu will find his father healthy and lucid again.
Thank you, Dr. Baizhu.
If he gets captain by morning, what's the point of this story then? This quest, what's the point then?
If you still have any misgivings, Director Who, please feel free to hang around for as long as you wish.
However, it would be best if you step outside this room. A doctor must be able to focus when treating a patient. Any distractions heighten the risk of complications.
And Snake became the doctor.
Yes, of course, absolutely. I'll just go and look at the flowers or something. But I will be back in an instant at the first sign that something's amiss.
We'll be heading out now too.
Bye for now, everyone.
Bye.
Are you ready, Baizhu?
Ready as I'll ever be. I'm used to it by now. Come on, let's get started.
Is she gonna drink his blood and then give it to him? Is that the way it works? It's not the ending, Paimon.
You know, Paimon's kind of curious after hearing Baizhu mention those people from his past. What do you think they were like?
Probably same as he was.
Yeah, you must be curious too, right? Let's go see what we can find out while Baizhu's busy treating Ayu's dad.
So, backstory on the character I don't even have. Where's the next?
While I'm idling time on admiring the scenery, the spectacled snake-bedecked doc's doing surgery.
Yeah, what's up, Doc?
Hello, you busy bees, and what do you have to discuss with the funeral director today?
So...
Actually, don't tell me. Let me guess. From the looks on your faces, you've got some questions for me.
Don't tell me you know what gave it away. Maybe the fact that I came up to you.
Guilty as charged. So, we were just a little curious about Baizhu's master. What was he like? Oh, and also, how come you and Baizhu could tell so quickly that Jia Liang had God remains in his system?
Huh? I thought I told you once before. Wangsheng Funeral Parlor was first founded to fight back against the vengeful wrath of gods defeated in war.
Yeah, because of more accent and everything.
Well, it is a dusty old tale by this point. Long story short, in the ancient world, dead gods were acting up, so our ancestors started purifying the air and burning the bodies of the deceased to guard the border between life and death.
Like a witch, burn the witch.
These days, we don't deal with the wrath of the gods anymore, but all the relevant know-how is still passed down to each generation, so we can identify gods' remains when we see them.
Okay, Paimon gets it now. Wait, so how did Baizhu learn to spot them?
Because of his master, I
Most
guess.
certainly from his master, who was also my great-uncle. Baizhu's master was my grandpa's younger brother, a former deputy director of Wangsheng Funeral Parlor.
So basically, in a way, you are, let's say, related, even you are actually not related.
Wow, fancy that! Huh. So
Yeah, what a
if he was
surprise.
from Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, how did he end up as Baiju's master?
According to my grandpa, he and my great-uncle once went traveling together when they were young. They ended up at Chenyu Vale, where they met a pharmacist. That pharmacist must have cast some sort of spell on my great-uncle, because after that encounter, he suddenly announced he wanted to leave the family business and go practice medicine instead.
I think it was Snake's fault.
My grandpa had a huge argument with him, but he couldn't convince him to stay. So my grandpa inherited the funeral parlor, while my great-uncle stayed in Chenyu Vale to practice medicine. They never spoke to each other again.
Funeral director to doctor is a pretty big career change. Kinda hard to imagine. But why did it drive a wedge between them for the rest of their lives? That seems a bit extreme.
Yeah, but then, Paimon, you changed the career pretty fast yourself. You're like my companion, then you're like my joke material.
If he had just become a regular doctor, there would have been no issue. After all, the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor wasn't unlike a regular doctor's clinic in the early days. But according to my grandpa, the pharmacist they met had a very ominous aura about him. And on top of that, the kind of medicine practiced in the Chenyu Vale tradition goes against the natural order of things.
In what way?
Don't know. My grandpa didn't know the specifics. And you've seen how wary Baizhu is around me. He'd never tell me anything. But even that says to me that he definitely has something to hide.
It's Snake.
One thing I do know about Baizhu is that he's obsessed with the idea of immortality. But whether that has anything to do with what he's hiding is hard to say.
Immortality. Sure, like Vegeta.
I will be sticking around here for now to keep a
Everybody wants immortality. Everybody.
Tomorrow I'll finally figure out what he's up to.
After all that, it seems like we have more questions than answers. Never mind. We'll just have to ask Baizhu himself about all of this tomorrow.
Wait till 8. Kinda reminds me when she said we have more questions than answers. Kinda reminded me of Yu-Gi-Oh! And Atem's whole situation. Like, he answers one question, then has another. So 8. I guess mine could work.
It's a new day! Let's go back to Boo Boo Pharmacy and check out how Jialiang is doing.
It's a new day. Yes, it is. And we haven't moved a muscle.
Dad!
Are you?
Dad, you remember me!
He's okay, kid.
Yes, I remember now. Oh, Ayu, I'm so sorry. You must have been worried sick. Has your mom shown up yet? She's been gone for a while, hasn't she?
Don't worry, Dad. I got the Adventurers Guild to help us look for her. And Dr. Baiju's gonna help too. Right now, all you need to do is concentrate on getting better.
Great. That's wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Dr. Baizhu.
I think he's already better.
My pleasure, really. It's the least I can do to honor my late master's dying wish. If anything, I should be apologizing to you for not making the time to visit in all these years. Not at all, Dr. Baizhu. It's only because Jiang Li... What was her reason again?
Oh,
You're
come
still
on.
in the early stages of recovery, so you'll need to take it easy for a while. Take it slowly and try not to overexert yourself.
I suggest you stay at Boo Boo Pharmacy and rest for at least the next few days.
Director Hu, do you have any further reservations about Jia Liang's condition?
It seems like the evil presence is gone after all. You really did manage to suppress it, huh? But how did you accomplish this in a single night?
Kind of like hyperbolic time chamber, you know. Only with snake bite, I guess.
That would be a trade secret, I'm afraid. If that gives you any cause for concern, you may continue to monitor Jia Liang for as long as you wish. Though I regret to say that Boo Boo Pharmacy cannot offer to reimburse Wang Sheng Funeral Parlor for any revenue lost in the meantime.
Oh, come on, Baizhu. I'm not that unreasonable.
Yeah, I've been stuck indoors for too long. Baizhu, take me outside for some air, or I'm going to suffocate.
Yes, of course. Everyone, please excuse Jiangsheng and myself for a moment.
Suffering now, are we? Did you seriously expect to cover it up just by putting on a brave face and ignoring it? If it weren't for my quick thinking, they'd have all seen the sorry state you're in by now.
I think I already know in what state he is.
But in any case, why must you keep this a secret from everybody? You should at least share your secret with one person you trust.
And this is where I come in.
Who's there? Why did you follow us here?
Because you were sick.
Oh, it's nothing. I just needed to get some air.
What did I just say about putting on a brave face? Traveler, Paimon, the truth is, Baizhu did not cure Jialiang's illness.
He transferred it to himself.
Instead, he transferred some of his own life force to his patient to temporarily subdue the poison in his system.
I for poison. So, whatever I pick.
Baizhu, can you please explain all this?
Yeah, please do tell.
My predecessors in medicine forged a contract with Changsheng. Every successor to this contract is able to use Changsheng's secret art to treat patients. I believe the irregularities with Jialiang's heart meridian were likely caused by a poison concocted using god remains as a key ingredient. The poison has not been purged from Jialiang's system. Rather, I infused him with some of my own life force, using Changsheng as the delivery medium. This will suppress the poison's effects for a limited time.
Kinda like every character in this in every banner in the game.
Changsheng? You can do that? Huh. Paimon always thought you were just Baizhu's strange choice of a necklace.
What a burn!
Hey, I'll have you know that I commanded the respect of even the Adepti back in Chenyu Vale. If anything, he is my mannequin. I was treating patients with Baiju's master's master long before he ever set eyes on his first medical text. Whoa. Guess you shouldn't judge a snake by its skin.
Kinda like you shouldn't judge a book by its cover. It's the same thing.
Please, that's enough.
Wait a sec. Huto was saying that the branch of medicine you studied uses some pretty dubious methods. So, when you transfer your life force, does that mean you're actually damaging your own body?
Paimon is actually smart.
Hardly. Changsheng helps to keep my chi in balance, so there is no great harm done.
But there's still harm done. It's just less
Still, Baiju's life force is
impacting.
not unlimited. He must find a way to neutralize the poison in Jialing's body. And soon. Traveler, Paimon, would you lend this dummy a hand? He needs someone checking up on him, or he'll exhaust himself trying to accomplish everything on his own.
Yeah, let me help you, bro.
Don't you think you should seize this opportunity? You cannot expect to hide this from everyone for your entire life. Time will see that all secrets surface eventually.
Entire life. Thank you, Traveler and Paimon.
Paimon doesn't think we've seen this side of you. But there's no need to thank us. You've helped us out before.
The poison in Jialiang's system must have accumulated over a prolonged period. I think I should pay a visit to their family home and look for clues as to how he might have been exposed to it. Yes, I asked Ayu this morning before you
So we are
arrived.
going to his
He told me
house.
that his family lives in a secluded spot to the west of Chingsa village. Let's head there together once I've asked Gui and Chi-Chi to look after the pharmacy. As well as investigating Jia Liang's exposure to the poison, we should also keep an eye out for Ayu's missing mother, my fellow disciple, Jiang Li.
Wait, so she's your pupil's disciple? to the west of Chingsa village. This was the closest temple spot I could find, so.
If you're hosting this big grand tournament, then you want everyone to watch this huge prize.
Whoa! There's a house all the way out here? Huh. It's so well hidden, Paimon's never noticed it before.
Oh, come on, Paimon, we passed through here like 100 times.
Nor have I. And I've hosted clinics at Chingsa village many times in the past. If you ask me, Jiangli was trying to remain unnoticed.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. We meant to ask earlier, but it slipped our minds in the rush to get here. Could you tell us more about Jiang Li? You said she was your fellow disciple, right?
She was indeed. We studied medicine together under the same master near Chenyu Vale. She is several years older than I and also began her travels far earlier than me. As a result, the time I spent studying alongside her was rather short.
Supposedly, she met an herb gatherer sometime during her travels and decided to settle down with him. That must have been Jiaying.
Oh, what a shock, like I didn't know that.
Wait, Changxiang, are you saying neither of you had actually met Jialiang or Ayu before all of this?
Jiang Li did occasionally come back to Chenyu Vale to see our master, but for whatever reason, she hardly ever talked about her family.
Maybe because she wanted to hide the truth that she's not able to cure him.
The last time she visited us, she and Master had some sort of quarrel. We never heard from her after that. It almost seemed as if she'd gone into hiding.
Quarrel? What happened?
I don't know. I did not witness the argument myself.
Bro, you are like on his neck the whole time, yet you didn't see the argument.
Nor did Master ever explain it to me. All he would say is that should I ever encounter Jiang Li or her family in the future, I should do everything in my power to help them.
I have a gut feeling that whatever's happening to him, it's going to be revealed at the ending.
No. Even if my master had never said anything, it would still be my duty as a doctor to help him. My decision would have remained the same.
Paimon never knew you were so selfless, Baizhu. Paimon always had you down as the sneaky, scheming type. Sorry.
Paimon, you're not even best judge of character, like.
So a few words from me is enough to dispel all your suspicions? You ought not be quite so quick to relax your guard, Paimon. Sometimes even the good guys have their own private agenda.
What the? Okay, that was the most suspicious sounding thing you've ever said.
See, Paimon?
Let's leave the idle chatter there for now. Jiang Li has lived in this house for many years. There must be something here that can shed a little light on this whole situation.
Let's look around then.
Let's split up. But if anyone finds anything, we'll examine it together.
Like splitting up is a good idea. I've seen movies. It doesn't end well. There's some faded writing near the bottom mark. The more quickly I close up, the sooner can leave. Judging by the number of markings on the pillar, the family has led a secluded existence here for many, many years. Don't tell me she was waiting for kid to grow up, then run away from all of this. The firewood is stacked. Their lungs were cut with great power and precision. Whoever chopped the firewood must have been physically fit. Some lungs at the bottom of the pile have begun to rot. It must have been a while since any new wood was added to the pile. And third clue, some roof tiles broke. Mom and I tried to get up and take a look, but we didn't manage. Luckily, Dad was able to fix them in no time. The dinner table was a bit wobbly today when we sat down to eat. Dad tried to fix it, but ended up breaking one of the legs by accident. Dad's forgetting things again. I'll have to write it all down for now and read it back to him when he's feeling a bit better.
Traveler, paimon, come quick! What is this?
Chung Shung and I found a hidden compartment. This is what was hidden inside.
God remains.
You sense it too? You're right. This is a poison concocted using god remains.
Hello, Snake, Nagini, whatever. I've been around, 1, 2, 3 archons, 4 archons, forgot Nahida, 4 archons, and if I can't sense God remains, nobody can.
Is it breathing? Paimon's not saying things, is she?
Breathing.
No, your eyes do not deceive you. I do believe the poison in this bottle is alive.
Alive? Is it Frankenstein?
Some toxins act a lot like living organisms. I read about this once in the Origins and Symptoms of Diseases. This ancient class of poisons consists of mother and minor loads, capable of sustaining a connection over vast distances. If it's a concoction of this kind we're dealing with, then both the poison in Jia Liang's system and this one here are likely minor loads. Offshoots, essentially.
Offshoots? So, the main body is somewhere else?
Correct.
I didn't see this coming.
Can manipulate the source to indirectly control the poisoned individual's behavior and even cognition. Similarly, the poisoned individual will hear, to a varying extent, the call of the source.
So, let me see if I got this right. So, that bottle is copy, it's not real. but the other battle is taking effect, like pain from Naruto.
The call
With
of the...
clones.
Wait. So back when Jia Liang ran off, maybe that explains where he was heading.
Only one thing could have been drawing him there. The source of the god remains used as the poison's key ingredient, the mother lode.
This is getting crazier and crazier. What kind of person would do all this just to poison Jia Liang?
Paimon, for the whole game, I told you cats, mushrooms, dogs. I think nothing else can shock me.
Hey, why has everyone gone quiet all of a sudden?
Since this poison was carefully hidden away in a secret compartment, the one who concocted it is likely a resident of the house.
Don't tell me it's the kid. It's the kid.
You mean Jia Liang? Why would he poison himself?
I was thinking it's the kid.
Think a little harder, Paimon. Someone else who lives here.
Don't tell me.
Might have expertise in crafting drugs.
Don't tell me I got it right.
Huh? So you're saying it was Jiang Li?
God, You're kidding. She poisoned her own husband. Why?
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense either. Why would she poison her own husband?
That's my question. Can somebody please tell me why?
I agree. It makes little sense. Jiang Li does not strike me as the kind of person who would do such a thing.
Maybe she... Was I right the whole time? She wanted to leave them. Was I right the whole time?
Look at the facts, though. How many people in the entirety of Liyue have the ability to concoct a poison from god remains?
It's too early to draw any conclusions. We should question Jia Liang about it once he has made more progress in his recovery.
Do you know a method to neutralize the poison?
According to the origins and symptoms of diseases, the minor lodes will disappear if the mother lode is purged. So if we can find and destroy the source of these god remains, the poison will leave Jia Liang's system without the need for any further treatment. Do you know anything about god remains in Qingsa village?
I only heard rumors.
Even the history books have no record of this. The only ones who'll know anything are those old fogies who have been hanging around here since the beginning of time.
I know who to ask. Can we go see Morax for a sec?
Didn't you used to be on good terms with the Adepti, though? You sure they didn't
No,
tell you anything
Xiao.
about this?
We are going to see Xiao.
Well,
One of those two.
Changsheng's memories and powers are not what they were in her prime. These days, she has to enter a contract with a mortal and share their life force just to sustain her own life. I fear that such ancient events are long gone from her memory by now.
Whoa, what? After a contract? Share life force? Sounds like some pretty spooky sorcery if you ask Paimon.
To me, Paimon, it sounds like marriage. Like marriage.
hey! Plenty of people would jump at the chance to join forces with a powerful being like me.
Well, not everybody.
With my my assistance in rebalancing your chi, not only can you extend your lifespan, but you will also be stronger, healthier, and able to eat whatever you like with no risk of upsetting your stomach.
So you have your pluses and your minuses. The person who has you as her helper, partner, you can rebalance their chi, expand lifespan, and they become stronger and healthier, and they can eat anything they want without homey cake or stuff like that, but yet when you drain their life force to cure someone, they become sick themselves.
Stronger and healthier? Wow, that's amazing!
Of course, Paimon, you are not seeing the bigger picture right now, but...
Baizhu, maybe when you retire, you can let Paimon sign the contract with Chung for a few days.
Sure. I totally agree. Sign the contract, and then you two can go on to adventures without me. I will find my sister alone.
Unfortunately, Chung Sheng's contract has strict requirements regarding the host's temperament. None of her hosts have ever been exempted from these rules. I fear that I will be unable to accommodate your wishes, Paimon.
So I'm stuck with Paimon forever?
Peppermint? Hey! What are you trying to say? Did you just subtly insult Paimon to her face?
He did. And thank you, at least I didn't have to. Strange baizhu has a weak constitution, and didn't his master pass away at early age?
Paimon's mad! You're getting ugly nicknames, both of you! Baizhu, you're Mannequin Man! Chung, you're just a pain in the neck!
Of course, nicknames! Classic Paimon! Mannequin Man and pain in the neck.
This is exactly why your natural temperament makes you woefully unsuited to being my host.
Chang, you're not stuck with her like I am,
All right, everybody, calm down. Back to the matter at hand. Is there any way at all for us to seek counsel from the Adepti about this?
Yeah, I can call Xiao.
With how antisocial they are? If it were up to them, they'd go their whole lives without showing their faces to the common folk.
Actually, I'm not common. Okay, you can be shocked, Chong, however you want to be shocked, but I'm not a common person. I'm special.
Seems you're as well connected as they say, traveler. We are truly fortunate to have you on our side.
Yeah, what would you do without me?
If you're talking about who Paimon thinks you're talking about, you better do the honors.
Everybody knows. Let's just get him here. Ciao.
You called?
Always on time. This man could work 24/7 and he would still be always on time. Whoa, how Paimon gets scared every time Xiao comes even though she knows he's about to come.
Gets paimon every time.
See, even Pyro knows.
Aren't all Adepti in the habit of materializing out of thin air like this?
No, that's just Shao.
Well, this is unexpected.
Huh? It's you.
Shao, can we just acknowledge the fact that everybody knows everybody?
Baizhu of Boo Pharmacy. I do believe I've had the pleasure before. The Lantern Rite, when we met briefly, I was unaware of your true identity. I must apologize for the discourtesy.
Huh? You two already know each other?
Our paths have crossed once before. I sense the presence of evil spirits. Is this why you called me?
Yeah, Shao. Actually, I wanted to ask you about dead gods. That's a topic.
So someone has been concocting demonic poison. Too often, fervent desires drive mortals to abandon all regard for their own safety. It is lamentable.
It is lamentable.
I now know what you seek. It is true that a god's remains are buried beneath the foundations of Qingce village.
Don't tell me it's Guizhong.
A vile monster known as the Che once wrought havoc over this land, before it was subdued by Rex Lapis.
Everything grows around Morax. Everything.
The land was finally cleansed of poison when Rex Lapis used statues in his likeness to seal the serpent's remains. Qingce village was founded some time after that. The seal is still mostly intact. If the Che is the source, then it must be some of its blood leaking from deep underground.
Wait, so we are going to wake up a god?
However, its aura is faint and barely detectable. You will need to investigate further to identify the location of the leak. I do not like to intervene against mortals unless absolutely necessary. But when demonic forces are involved, things can spiral out of control. If that happens, be sure to call my name again.
I will.
Nothing.
Let me guess, you know the snake.
I do not wish to sway decisions that are mortals to make, but immortality may not be the blessing that you imagine it to be.
After all, you know best, right?
I shall treasure your words of instruction, Master Adeptus.
Farewell.
What a strange Adeptus. Rather different from the way I remember them.
That's Shao for ya! And thanks to him, we finally got some concrete info to go off of.
If the god remains are leaking from underground, Jiangli must be paying a visit to a subterranean cave on her herb-gathering trips. If we can find the cave...
Master, there's a problem.
Gwei? Did you run all the way from Boo Boo Pharmacy?
What happened? Don't panic. Just catch your breath and tell me everything.
It's Jiaoyang. He was fine one minute, and then he suddenly took a turn for the worse.
Already?
Again.
Based on past experience, he should have been fine for the next 3 days at least.
It seems that my worst fears have been confirmed. Everyone, back to Boo Boo Pharmacy now.
Boo Boo Pharmacy. Because people have a boob. You're bad joke, but it's still a joke. Nonetheless. So. In here, of course, I have to take the long road. Of course.
Dad, what's wrong? Dad?
Okay, the same thing is happening again.
Don't be scared. Dr. Baizhu will be back soon.
How is he doing?
By the looks of it, he's not
Dr.
well.
Baizhu, you're back! My dad was doing fine earlier, but then he suddenly started coughing up blood. Now he can't even get a full word out anymore.
When Gui left, he was still conscious. But now...
Gui, please take Jia Liang to the back room and prepare for treatment.
Yes, of course.
Don't worry, Ayu. I will cure your father.
Cure, more like...
Again, is he? Is there really no other way to save Jialiang?
Wait, next morning. At 8, I think.
How are you feeling, Dad? Are you still hurting anywhere? You're not gonna suddenly collapse again, are you?
Much better, Ayu. I'm feeling much better. In fact, I can't explain it, but somehow I feel even better than usual. Wait, where's Dr. Baizhu? I still haven't had a chance to thank him. Seems he moved me here before I came to.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired from treating me for 2 nights in a row.
More like you sucked his life force.
For saving my life. I'll have to discuss it properly with Jiang Li once we find her.
I think you don't want to find her because she poisoned you, so better stay away.
Speaking of which, has there been any word of her whereabouts yet?
Nobody knows.
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll go check with them again in a bit.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet, Jia Liang. I strongly suggest that you stay and rest at Boo Boo Pharmacy for now. I can accompany Ayu to the Adventures Guild.
I suppose you're right. I'll have to rely on you this time. Though, on the bright side, this means I can thank Dr. Baizhu in person once he's finished resting.
Traveler, Baizhu hasn't shown his face ever since he went in to treat Jialiang again. Do you think he...
Yeah, let's go check on him.
Hey, wait up!
Huh?
You're finally awake? That was far too risky. Even with me here to help you balance your chi.
There was no time. I had no other choice. In any case, it was not completely without benefit to myself. I managed to learn something.
What did you
Jialiang's
learn?
design is quite brilliant. She makes numerous innovations that I can learn from. Alas, if only there wasn't a catch.
Like, you mean, what?
How much longer do you think Baizhu's gonna nap for?
They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Shall we at least go and show our faces?
All right.
Surely he hasn't. There's no way he could have just...
Who's talking behind our backs again?
Paimon!
Baizhu! Chang-Chang!
Of course. There's no need to be concerned. I merely had to transfer a rather large amount of life force on this occasion. But, with Chang-Chang's help, I will recover in time.
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so soon?
I made an error in my initial diagnosis. Jialiang is in fact suffering from more than one ailment, and as a result, his life force depleted at a greater rate than I had anticipated.
More than... How many are we talking about? 1, 2, or 3 maybe?
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd still be sick?
Yes. But more pertinently, the poison in Jialiang's system is there precisely because it is being used to manage his underlying medical condition. Jialiang has a rare congenital heart condition, and ongoing treatment is essential to maintaining healthy functioning of his heart meridian. Left untreated, it puts the patient at risk of coughing up blood and fainting, and in the longer term, causes irreversible damage to the internal organs. Though it was created from god remains, this formula is not a poison in Jialiang's case. Rather, it's his medication.
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
So that was medication for his illness, yet he's feeling bad because of that medication.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, and the poison accumulated in his system, it began to impact his cognition. Moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became to it. Jiang Li had to concoct ever greater quantities to ensure its continued efficacy, or he could have still perished at any moment.
That explains why Ayu said his dad has been getting worse, and why his mom went off to gather herbs.
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how many times Jiangli has exposed herself to them. I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jia Liang's life, Jiangli has abandoned all regard for her own safety.
I never suspected that even Jiang Li would turn to the same path as so many others over the years. Perhaps this is the inevitable course of fate. To sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order to do the impossible. Whatever the cost may be.
Fate. He's thinking about his sister again.
I think that it's too early to say with any certainty what fate has in mind. In any case, I have stabilized Jia Liang's condition for now, so our immediate priority should be to get ourselves back to Qingsa village and find out where Jiang Li is. Her regular exposure to God remains over such a long period will have been catastrophic for her health. And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baizhu.
It's Jialiang! Don't tell Paimon you overheard everything already.
Dr. Baizhu, please let me come with you. You've already done so much for my family. I can no longer just sit here and watch while you put yourself at risk for Jiang Li's sake. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have had to put herself in harm's way in the first place. I know I won't be of much help in battle, but at the very least, I can show you the way. I'm sure I'll be able to remember. I know there's a spot where she says goodbye to me every time she goes to gather her herbs. I'm sure I'll remember. I have to remember.
Be careful. If you get too agitated, your blood pressure and stress levels will rise, putting further pressure on your heart. For your own safety, you should stay here and rest.
No! We're out of time! We have to go now. Right now. Before I forget everything again.
This trip will be extremely dangerous, and there is a very real possibility that you will not return from it. Are you sure you're prepared for that?
I never expected to live this long in the first place. My death is already long overdue. So why should I fear it? There's only one thing I fear now, and that's that I'll forget her again before we manage to find her.
Very well. Then follow me.
Of course, Hotao is there.
Dr. Baizhu, are you heading out again?
Yes. This could be a long one. Could you please prepare a dose of the usual formula? Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen, and 1 dose each of the ingredients from the 3rd and 5th compartments of my medicine cabinet. I hope it works.
Me too.
Dr. Baizhu, do you mean...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful with the cauldron this time. You don't want to burn yourself again.
Okay.
I'm surprised how he doesn't know Xiao, because Xiao is responsible for Chi-Chi being dead in the first place. How do you not know the guy? When he said it right.
That strange feeling is back. It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside me is trying to guide me somewhere.
The Mother Lode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're getting closer to the source? Or because the leakage of Che blood is growing more severe? Jialiang, can you sense which direction the source is in?
I think it's this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
There is an inauspicious presence here. Even I can sense it.
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay? Maybe you should rest here while we continue the search.
Maybe you should rest here before we continue the search.
No.
Sure.
I have to keep going. Zhongli is still waiting for me. Then let's hurry.
He wants to continue. So, who's out for my usual team? My usual team is Farzan, but since Sucrose is not taken, why not?
This place gives Paimon the creeps. Who knows what we're gonna find up ahead?
Abyss Mage, Abyss
The
Order.
digging marks here appear amateur and rather old. I suspect it is a thieves' tunnel.
A thieves' tunnel? Paimon has heard rumors about treasure around these parts before. Maybe it was the treasure hoarders that dug this tunnel.
Bro, Paimon, can you, at least for a second there, stop thinking about treasure or food?
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly a possibility. But why did they abandon this place without even stopping to pack up their tools?
Because somebody attacked them.
I remember now. She took me here once and told me that she'd found a way to save me in this cave. But she said that the method would cause me to, curses. Why can't I remember what she said?
Easy, Jialiang. Come on, let's keep going. A bitter pill to swallow.
Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves at home.
I don't see any dust of the surface. The burn marks is still fresh. I don't think this was left by the treasure
I
hoarders.
believe this censer was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
A monster-repelling incense? Are you sure? Because we did run into that group of monsters just now.
Paimon, are you scared? You can hold my hand, you know.
The incense was burned several days ago. If I had to guess, the monsters we fought just now were enticed here by some entity deeper inside the cave. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity was what prompted the treasure hoarders to flee and abandon their designs on this cave. After them, Jiang Li was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside. But to her, it presented an opportunity to save Jia Liang's life, albeit as a last resort.
That's right. This censer, it belongs to Jiang Li. Yes, this was the place. This is where I told Jiang Li to give me the poison.
He's starting to remember everything.
Let's keep going. I can feel it. She is right below us, waiting for me.
Let's go deeper then. What can happen? I mean, what could go wrong, right?
Worthless!
I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
What pact?
We can keep going now.
From the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of.
If I push it here, and then so I can only push it here, so let's push it here and then activate. Let's push back. And then activate. I don't have much choice. Wait, can I push it? I think I have a solution. If yes. So push it back. Go back. Not there. I know how to do this. I just gotta be... Let me actually try activate it from here, maybe. So doors can be opened from here. Can I push it there? And activate now. So here was the animation. So let's go in this room to pick up chest. And use pyro on this. Maybe it's the same. It's not the same. But Morax actually break it like... Can he...
Solidify!
No. That's unbreakable. And... Here we go.
Everybody stand back!
Evil conquering!
Let me just trigger this faster.
Worthless!
Let's light it up! Off we go! I'm going in!
Seems like an emergency.
Let's use Denver reaction here.
The doctor will see you now.
Activate this. Push this outside. I can only push... Really? Okay, then push. I can only push this. I can't activate it. Why? Does it have something to do with the fact that he doesn't have energy like this one does? And I need to bring it back. Maybe that's the solution. Because if I activate it now, then he gets the... And voila.
Jiangli!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back. Remember, health comes first.
Let's light it up! Teamwork is...
Lament! Here! Worthless!
Can I just do this thing when you're done? Shao fell. Nice.
Stand clear. I need to make adjustments.
And this is why Morax breaks the game.
Dr. Baizhu, how serious is it? Is she...
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite grave. The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her life, I fear that she may never wake up again.
Then what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains right away!
Like it would be that simple. You think it would be that simple?
It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember what Baizhu said? The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricably linked to the god remains here. If the source is purged, the poison in his system will stop having any effect.
And the poison within Jialiang's body is keeping his heart condition under control. So, if it stops working...
So if it stops working, we save her, but he dies. If we save him, then she dies. It's that simple.
Oh no. Are you saying...
Yeah, she's saying that.
Indeed. If the god remains here are purged, then your life will come to an end.
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to save Jialiang's life! After all that, we can't just give up on him!
He gave up on him.
Baizhu, you're a great doctor! Surely you gotta know of some other way we can save him, right?
There's no other way.
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiangli, maybe if we put our heads together, we can think of something?
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you, right up until the moment when she lost consciousness. Maybe it's her greatest wish that you will continue to take it and live.
Dr. Baizhu, give it to me straight. How long does Jiangli have?
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But if I were to treat her using a secret art...
Not that again.
But what would be the point of that? Dr. Baizhu, I'm all too aware of the dangers of god remains. You are not the first to mention it to me. If I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would Jiangli have to keep risking her life to make my medicine for me, but I would have to live with the looming threat of these remains breaking out and wreaking havoc not just upon me, but my entire family. I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago. The fact that I've been around to see how you grow up is already a great blessing from Rex Lapis.
So Oh, you're
my
going to
choice can bring
sacrifice
Jiangli
yourself.
back, then even if I, even if I die...
Xiaoliang.
Yeah, he's going to sacrifice himself.
After cheating death for so long, it seems I've grown somewhat addicted to life. Traveler, Dr. Baizhu, could I have another minute with my wife? I just want to have one final moment together. Just a moment. That's all.
Sure.
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry that I won't be able to repay your kindness in this life.
Xiaoliang. Baizhu, Changsheng. Is there really nothing else you can do?
I'm afraid not, Paimon.
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional methods known to humankind. As for less conventional methods, I have little expertise besides Changsheng's secret art.
Mortals are fated to grow old and pass on when their natural lifespan runs out. If it were so easy to combat the natural processes of aging and death, Jiangli would not have had to resort to unnatural methods.
What a crazy situation. Jiangli risked it all to save Xiaoliang's life. And now, Xiaoliang has to sacrifice himself to save Jiangli. What's the point of it all?
This is just that moment, really.
But she said they will get to know each other with their swords. The knights think that even Cain doesn't stand a chance, because Tafana has the title of Master Swordsman.
I've seen many final farewells in my time, but I can never get used to it.
In the human realm, all things must come to an end. Is it not a fitting end to die for a worthy cause? At least, that's what generations of masters before you have always believed.
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly sacrifice themselves for others, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives least deserving of death.
When all this began, we agreed that once Ayu was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took me all the way to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. And he even got the Adventurers Guild to search for you.
Oh God.
So, I know that you'll both be okay without me.
So she tells the guard to arrange an audience with the king. The king thinks that telling the king would be a terrible idea. But he has no choice and gets dragged along with them. They have a meeting with the king, who wonders why Cain has come to visit. Tafana announces that she wants to marry Cain. She asks what happened. Cain explains that he thinks Tafana's going to do it, and that was what led to her proposing to him. The king asks him...
I've said my goodbyes. My time has come. Do what you must.
Welcome.
As you wish.
But their first king changed things and moved to something else. The young man and put under the protection of the kingdom, and he reveals that Tafana is essentially She seems disappointed to know this.
And he's
It'll eat away at both your cognition
gone.
and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take it. At the very least, it will allow me to stay with you and watch Ayu grow up.
Mom, something's really wrong with Dad.
Don't fret, Ayu. I will gather some medicinal herbs right away. I promise you, nothing will happen to our family.
Funny thing is, She wanted to protect him, and now...
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live, the tighter we cling to what we have. Oh, how I would love to hear your voice one last time.
And he died.
Jialiang! 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 Dad, are you awake?
Wait, he's alive.
Jiangli, are you? Didn't I... Huh? What are these?
Can somebody explain to me how he is alive?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Wait, I'm trying to process the whole thing. Is he kind of like cheeky now?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If so, could you describe it to me in detail?
Dr. Baizhu, I thought that I was going to...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to a zombie than a human.
I'm a zombie?
Same as Chi-Chi.
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended in the space between life and death. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life indefinitely. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, I am as interested as you to find out. But, however long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace. I hope that Director Hu finds this arrangement to be a satisfactory one.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you to work on something like that behind my back.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for Jialiang's iron will. In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death and the perpetual cycle of yin and yang. All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything in my power to save them. And even this would have counted for nothing without Director Hu's assistance. After all, did you not tell Jialiang to show us the way before we set off for Qingce village?
Oops. And I'm busted.
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
No wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then. I thought he was being frank and transparent with me for once, but apparently not.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion a secret, but it seems nothing escapes Dr. Baiju's attention.
Never underestimate a serpent's sense of smell.
Some adventurers interrupt, telling her to stop wasting her time with the king. The man tells King to go home to his mother, trying to kill him, but King usually dodges. His friend tries to attack as well, but King avoids him as well. He makes a fool of him, and the man prepares to draw his sword. But things are stopped as the red-haired adventurer...
All I wanted was to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could be on his way to the afterlife without any unfulfilled wishes making the journey more difficult than it needs to be. Leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. I'll just have to put it down in the books as a deferred consideration.
Jane asks him why
One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked him off to the Wangsheng funeral parlor the moment I found him.
Take on bigger quests and rank up faster, revealing his gold card, which means he is an A-ranked adventurer. She is impressed seeing the card, but Claude says there's room to improve, mentioning that the first king was triple S ranked, and his card was supposedly black.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baizhu, and cure Dad for good!
That's a good motivation, kid.
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried to put Wangsheng Funeral Parlor out of business. If you're serious about it, you'll have your work cut out for you. Traveler, paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
Is she finally gone? All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something to celebrate this hard-earned family reunion.
The celebration time, and it was Paimon's idea. Food time, people! Food time!
At times like this, a grand celebratory feast is in order.
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked with Zhongli and Ayu around the dinner table.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come too!
Baizhu, thank you so much for everything you've done for us.
Don't mention it, Jiangli. I was just doing my duty.
Just your duty, huh? Baizhu, Changsheng, would you mind if we took this conversation outside?
Sometime later, we see King's tutors as they investigate the green lizards, but there is only a huge crater left behind. King reports to the guild, and he wonders if he can handle the green lizards, even though he didn't take the advice. Tia is shocked to hear this, because the green lizard class is usually secret, and King reveals that he defeated 30 of them. Tia can't believe it. She rushes to the chief and tells him what happened. The chief meets with King, introducing himself as Cedric, mentioning that the guild master is busy, so he is handing his case. He thinks King is trying to cheat the system, because he only just registered as an adventurer, and he thinks it would be impossible for him to kill a green lizard. King insists that he do that, but Cedric thinks he was just a peasant trying to cheat the guild out of the reward monies. He decides to punch King by voting his guild card, saying he doesn't tolerate cheaters. The guild master suddenly enters. Cedric explains the situation, saying there is no intent to beat the 30 green lizards. But the guild master laughs, telling Cedric there is no other choice. Cedric can't believe he is slain the king, but the guild master calls his guest, which turns out to be the daughter. She buckles him, calling him her husband, and again Cedric is shocked to hear this. King wonders what she would do with the gift. She explains she would never be such a Susie's daughter.
Arigato, core.
I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
The guild master mentions that if King marries Stefana, then he will also be his brother-in-law, which is a shock to King, learning that he is Stefana's brother. Cedric begs for forgiveness, and Stefana wants he should be executed.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for copying your methods.
No, not at all. With your intellect, even if you'd never seen my poison, I believe you would have eventually arrived at the same approach. But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang's still only been in your care for a few days. Not just that, you even managed to improve upon the original formula. That cannot be explained by intellect alone. Baizhu, be honest with me. Did you try out some of the poison on yourself?
Huh. Told you the truth would surface sooner or later.
Nice.
Life force isn't the only thing that Changsheng's contract lets you transfer between bodies, is it?
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides life force, Changsheng's secret art also allows for the transfer of toxins and diseases. When I treated Jia Liang for the second time, I transferred some of the poison from his body into my own. Not only did this allow me to alleviate the burden on him, but it also gave me an opportunity to study its properties. There is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my health, however. Now that the source has been destroyed, any remaining poison in me will have already dissipated.
But you took such a huge risk. If we hadn't destroyed the god's remains back there, then even you might have...
died.
What am I saying? I'm in no position to criticize you for this. The reason I left our master and went into hiding all those years ago was that he was getting old, and I didn't want him using up any more of his own life force to treat my husband. But in the end, how were my methods any different? I risked one life to save another, and then you tried the poison on yourself too. It looks like both of us have ended up going the same way as our master before us.
Yeah, you did.
Are all disciples of Chenyu Vale destined to turn out this way? To live a short life, having given away our own for the sake of others? To fight relentlessly against the natural course of life and death, whatever the cost? Maybe our fate is sealed the moment we decide to study medicine.
We are doctors, Jiangli. We ought never say that anyone's fate is sealed.
Baizhu, I can tell that, over the years, you've used the contract with Changsheng to transfer many diseases and toxins to yourself. There are so many that, some of them, I don't even recognize. Can you still stop before it's too late?
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Every one of us from Chenyu Vale believes in the same thing.
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us. The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes and said even Dad'll be able to taste them. Come and try them out.
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, slow down. Baizhu, I know I won't be able to convince you, but please don't forget that if one day you're not around anymore, Chi-Chi, Gui, and all the friends who have grown fond of you, they will all miss you dearly.
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only hope so.
Baizhu, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore? Are you gonna be okay? Every single
What did
mortal
she
I've
mean,
ever
Angel?
contracted with, including Baizhu and Jiang Li's master, has passed away at a young age. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that the contract with you helps people live longer.
It is a very long story.
I'm sure I'll hear about it now.
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps.
Basically, it continued.
Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors, and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is, until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poisoned chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison?
That's the question.
I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojin. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure of heart.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, they are more seduced than the average person by the miracle of overturning the laws of life and death. Though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity and the pain of losing their nearest and dearest, they cannot help but reach beyond human means. They are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer of hope in a dark world filled with pain and suffering.
So, baizhu, does that mean...
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned to a crisp. Chang Sheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jia Liang feared for Jiang Li's life, or Jiang Li grieved over Jia Liang's sacrifice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. But I do not wish to join their ranks, nor do I wish to pass on this contract to anyone else in the future.
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases onto yourself?
What makes a poison, poison? And what makes a disease? When it comes down to it, are not both mechanisms that affect the operations of the human body? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Cheng Sheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it?
He has to become immortal.
Precisely. I will be Cheng Sheng's final host, and the tradition of passing down the contract will end with me.
So, he's not gonna die.
Even the gods of old struggle to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself. Now you even want to save me. You're getting greedy, baizhu.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us human? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards the moon.
Huh. For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
He left Paimon speechless. That can actually happen.
Dr. Baizhu, Traveler, what are you still chatting about? The food's about to get cold.
We also have coconut milk for Chang Sheng and Paimon.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten.
I do envy Paimon sometimes. Eating her fill is enough to satisfy her body and mind.
Well, that and more.
True. And yet, although we call them simple pleasures, are such things as these not precisely why we mortals cling desperately to the life we have?
And quest is completed. So guys, thank you for watching. I will be off now. If you missed this on Twitch, I usually transfer same stuff on YouTube, so go check my YouTube out. Yes, One King. Thank you for watching. Bye. See you next time.